we're seeing it again in Point Ridge Plaza.
Oh, is that? I haven't been down there.
Yeah, so at least the commercial facade stuff, the
Yeah.
improvements are occurring. My understanding, we're still having a little bit of difficulty in filling those centers, but that it's a sign of the times. And I think one of the things that we have going for us as a city is because of our economic base,
Yeah.
because of our relative wealth compared to other parts of the county and the region, that it is an attractive place to come if you want to do business.
Absolutely.
And we just had, probably the end of last month, we had our first meeting of the Business Incubator Program that the city is providing the seed money for, working with Bowie State University and other private partners to encourage, I think we have a substantial number of businesses that are at-home businesses here in the city of Bowie.
Yeah, there are quite a few.
Right. And what we'd like to do, unlike traditional incubators where it's kind of focused on technology or bio, we're focused on increasing those at-home businesses to give them the resources and the ability to expand, so they go into a traditional, say, Class A office space, which we have, in the city and have availability with Melford and others. So
those two beautiful office buildings, of which I have a rear window view.
Yes.
Well, unless you've been comatose, which I know you're not. We're in the midst of a political campaign here in Prince George's County for state and county offices. Got any impressions?
Yeah, I got a few, I think. Obviously, one of the things that earlier this year I took over as president of the Governor Oden Bowie Democratic Club, which is the Democratic club that serves the 23rd Legislative District. So, I grew up in Democratic politics up in New York, so it's need an opportunity.
Well, it's a good thing, because if you're a Republican, you wouldn't have much chance to do anything.
That's true here in Prince George's County. Not so much in Bowie, obviously, with our nonpartisan elections. So, but so my views are not those of the Democratic Club.
No, they're your views.
We don't endorse for the primary at all. But obviously we've got, I think almost all races except a few have very competitive.
Yeah.
And obviously we're seeing the impacts of term limits, particularly at the county level. And how that turnover is occurring. We have, out of the 9 county council members, 5 of them are term limited, so we're going to have a new majority in the county council.
I'm amazed that our incumbent from our district, who only won by 50-some odd votes in the last election, has no challenger except a Republican in the general election.
That would probably be one of the most surprising ones.
That just it blows my mind.
In the area, but maybe that's a discussion about whether people feel that she's doing the right thing or not. Yeah. And plus the other factor is it's always hard to be an incumbent in this county.
Yeah.
So and that's always a factor, particularly a member of the county council. Obviously we got the county executive race being term limited. We have 5 people running for that.
Yeah, we sure do.
It's been an interesting campaign so far. I'm sure in the next last 60 days or so, we'll see more from each of the candidates. Obviously, not that so everybody knows. Full disclosure, actually, I'm supporting one candidate, Rashawn Baker, myself, who obviously ran twice.
I honestly
before.
don't know who I'm going to support or vote for.
Listen, they're good people in the race, and they bring different set of skills. And
all of them come with baggage, every single one.
There's no. As I've discovered, even in the short time that I've been involved in politics and as an elected official, there's no perfect candidate. And maybe there might be good candidates, but there's no perfect governors or once you get into office. There are always going to be challenges and issues that you have to deal with. It comes down to who do you feel comfortable in making those decisions.
Well, I find, Todd, that the apathy level in Bowie is extremely high. Are these people going to even vote?
It's primaries and even our city elections, unfortunately, you're seeing less and less participation. Yes. And I'm not sure if it's apathy or people are just more concerned, particularly given the economic times, that they're not really making the connection between, well, if I vote for this particular candidate, how does that impact my economic status,
And there's also, quite frankly, the attitude of, the hell with all politicians.
That's part of it too. I mean, you're seeing that more and more. You're seeing some of that on the national level with some of the organizational groups that people are tuning out, that maybe there's not a difference between this particular person and that person. Obviously, as somebody who's in elective office and understands what the impact could be of somebody in that office. I mean, I think it's incumbent upon us as elected officials to encourage people to turn out and vote. And
I absolutely agree.
To be informed about who they're voting for. I mean,
well, that's up to the candidates.
That's part of it is the candidates. Part of it, I mean, let's be honest. The kind of our own social network is, a lot of people will ask, so who are you supporting?
Yeah.
As a barometer, since you're considered a leader in whatever field, you as a former newspaper person, me as an elected official, and they take that to heart because they understand that they think like me, they have the same concerns as I do. So if they're supporting this person, that's probably somebody that I could be comfortable with. Yeah. And so that's part of our obligation, and that's something that in all honesty, the City Council has tried to do this year is be more strategic. And try to meet with all the candidates. Particularly, we're trying to meet with all the county executive candidates. Say,
did you get Sam Dean in yet?
Not yet. We're still working on that.
Yeah, well, good luck, pal.
And as we get closer, it gets a little bit tougher to do because they're, but sitting down with them and getting, in all honesty, commitments on behalf of the residents of the city of Bowie are the things that we think are important. Whether it's our new high school, whether it's additional funding for other items that we're concerned about, planning and zoning authority, which is a number one issue for us.
It's been a number one issue ever since I moved here.
So hopefully, we can move that along, and then obviously we have the state legislative races. We have a vacancy in 23A in the House of Delegates, and
and a lot of candidates.
A lot of candidates in that portion. That's going to be a very interesting race. A lot of diverse candidates. Obviously, one of our colleagues on the City Council, Geraldine Valentino-Smith, is running for that seat.
Yeah.
Have mixed emotions about that. Obviously, I want to see her be successful, but she's been a good partner and a friend on the council,
city councilwoman,
for the past 3 years. So I have mixed emotions about. I want her to be successful, but at the same time,
you don't want to lose her.
Yeah, we don't want to lose her. Her views and stuff on the city council. I think us together, we actually sit together now. Once I moved over from being mayor pro tem. So, we got an opportunity before we're on either sides of the table. So we're, probably the most active of the questioners and very involved in the community. Yeah. And it's not just because we want, to be active while we're sitting up there, but because we're concerned and we like to see how things are operating. We're both students of government. So.
Well, we've reached the wrap, if you can believe that.
Oh, good.
I'd like to congratulate you on your tenure.
Oh,
5 years. You've done a good job.
I appreciate that.
I'm not putting that in writing, but
that's all right.
You've done a good job, and I certainly wish
it's
you
on.
all
It's
the
on
best.
video now, so I can use it on YouTube and put it on a website.
It'll be up on YouTube tonight. You can jump right in there and
Sure.
show your girls how you
see Dad on TV again.
Yeah.
Yes.
See how many hits you get. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, they always fall asleep on city council meetings.
You can't blame them. Todd, thanks a lot.
John, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It was really nice chatting. You have to come in again before the election, and we'll
have to do some horse trading to see where we think the races are going to go.
Yeah, I know. Right now, I wouldn't even predict it.
Right.
And to our audience, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Good night.